So this is Congressman Mike Fitzpatrick. I just got back from Washington late last night. I'm back in Pennsylvania now. Looking forward, as we all are, this Sunday, Mother's Day. We will celebrate the special women in our lives and express appreciation for all the sacrifices that moms make every day. And proper post-operative care for breast cancer survivors should not be one of the sacrifices. Currently, Medicare beneficiaries are required to wait until they're discharged from the hospital or can obtain post-mastectomy garments, and we view it's an arbitrary restriction on when women may obtain necessary post-surgical breast camisoles, and it prevents women from accessing the best care that is available at the time that they need it. And so what I've done is I have introduced a bill, and the bill is called the Breast Cancer Recovery Improvement Act. It was introduced yesterday morning when I was in Washington. The bill is H.R. 1902. It's a bipartisan bill. My original co-sponsor is Representative Gwen Moore from Wisconsin. And what the bill does, it's a simple legislative fix that makes the necessary changes to Medicare policy on something that most likely was overlooked in the law. Essentially, what it does is it permits Medicare, through the Center for Medicare and Medicaid Services, to reimburse providers for post-mastectomy garments and prostheses before surgery rather than making women wait until after the surgery. So essentially what it does is it ensures that Medicare beneficiaries will have meaningful access to care at the time that they're most vulnerable, at the time that they most need it. And I couldn't be prouder to be able to, first of all, represent Sonia and Heather in the Congress, and many other breast cancer survivors, including my own mom and sister, and to be able to work with people like Dr. Beth Dupree, who is a preeminent, world-renowned breast care surgeon, cancer surgeon. She brought this issue to my attention originally in the last term. I introduced the bill in the last term. We've reintroduced it again this time with Gwen Moore, and we are committed to get this done because it's not going to add any additional services or requirements on Medicare. All it's going to do is reschedule when those services can be provided in a way that is more appropriate to the women who are the beneficiaries who are going through the process. And as I said, at the time that they're most vulnerable, provide that service. And I think if we can get this bill done, I will have provided a service to the constituents that I represent. So, with that, Heather, you told me that you are a partner in a business, not just a breast cancer survivor, 23 years, but also a partner in a business that actually knows a little bit about this and provides that service. I'm going to sort of flip this over to you in the event that you want to make any comments about either your survivorship, this bill, or the business that you're in.
I would love to do that. First off, we didn't even have these garments when I was diagnosed, and I was diagnosed when I was 37. I had my surgery just after my 38th birthday. Something like that would have absolutely been literally a life-altering thing for me because I didn't feel I could leave my house because I was lacking a breast on one side of my body, which was very evident. And the only reason I mention that is because when women cannot get this garment before their surgery, they are not physically able to leave their homes for a while after their surgery, and if they don't have someone who can either get them into our shop to get the fitting, because they must be fitted, they can't just randomly send someone out to get it. They need to be fitted for this garment, which is what I do. I'm a certified mastectomy fitter. I have women who come in later to be fitted with their permanent prosthesis, and they'll tell me that they have not left their house in 6 to 8 weeks because they're too embarrassed. And they'll tell me, now I can go to church, or now I can go shopping. And that's wrong. It's so wrong No one should feel they're already going through such a traumatic experience, and the fact that they feel they can't leave their home because they feel so disfigured breaks my heart. And like Mike was saying, we're not adding a service. We're not asking for something that isn't already there. We're just asking that these women not have to be put out or feel like they can't even get it because they just can't physically get to a place like mine. And we exist all across the United States, although there are less of us, but we do exist. They shouldn't be put out. They're coming to see their surgeon before their surgery, obviously, for their consults, and they're going to get their prescription. These are they're by prescription only. They're ordered by the doctor. They have their prescription in their hand while they're out. They should be able to be fit for the garment and be able to take the garment home so that they have it in hand. So that would be my input.
Heather, that's all. First of all, thanks for your courage. But your background is incredible, and if I can get this bill done, I want to come down and hug you first.
I would love that.
Maybe we can, maybe we can do a little something down at the. In addition, so you got the place in Bensalem. Where else are you providing that service?
Right where Beth has her offices in Southampton.
Oh, okay, down on 2nd Street Pike also?
Yes.
Okay. All right, tell Dr. Dupree I was asking for. Sonia, you still with us?
Yes, I am. And I wholeheartedly agree with this bill, Congressman Fitzpatrick, and also with what Heather said. I was diagnosed in 2011. So in 2011, I went through 2 lumpectomies, and then a mastectomy, and then a reconstruction. So during all 4 of those surgeries, I needed to wear one of those camisoles with the Velcro on the front and the Velcro on the sides. And people think of it's like a sports bra. But when you have the surgery, the doctors go in and they take out lymph nodes. And so after the reconstruction, I was out, as Heather had mentioned, for a while. I was actually out for 6 weeks. The normal time is usually 8 weeks, where you do an hour of physical therapy every day to get your arm up. So without having a camisole with the Velcro closure in the front, it would be impossible for a woman undergoing reconstruction or undergoing any type of breast surgery to actually put something on her. I am very blessed and I'm very fortunate that I have health insurance with my job, so I never realized that this is something that other women who might not have if they don't have the type of health insurance that I do. So I'm actually really glad that this bill is being passed. When I had all of my surgeries and reconstruction and everything at Fox Chase, they actually gave me these camisoles, and I just took it for granted that this is something that every woman gets, and it should be something that every woman gets, not something that you need to fight for or legislate. So I'm very happy that this legislation is going through. Also, the camisoles are also good because after the surgery, there are drains that are put around your breast, to help heal you, and so these special camisoles also have places where you can put those drain tubes. So I wholeheartedly support this bill, and I think this is something that would be beneficial to every woman going through whether it's a lumpectomy, mastectomy, or a reconstruction.
Now, Sonia, the camisoles that you just described, they're designed to be worn immediately after the surgery?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And Heather, so, I mean, as Sonia just described, she took it for granted because she has health insurance, and that health insurance is provided. The purpose of this bill is to make sure that women who have or are on Medicare are not being treated differently, that they have those same opportunities. Because these are supposed to be worn or could be worn immediately after surgery, are you finding that women who are on Medicare either there's some delay in coming back to get fitted, or maybe they're not coming back? Is that what are you seeing that?
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely, I'm seeing that because, again, they can't get out. Many of them are elderly. They need someone to drive them to their appointments, and so there's a physical barrier, literally, to them getting in to get their garments. And so I will have them come in, and I'm not making it up. I've had women come in and say, now I can go back to church. For an elderly woman, that is their life.
Right.
That's their social life, is their church. And I've had them sit in my fitting room sobbing, saying, I can go to church now. And that just is wrong.
Yeah, and body image is so important. Even just to not just physically the way you look, but also emotionally and mentally. You want to look normal when they come to Heather's shop. It's like, I want to get out and I just want to look normal. I don't want to look different and have people wonder what's wrong with me.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, Diane and I would both tell you that we don't just, and I use the word just, I don't even want to say just, but we don't just do fittings. We do so much more in the shop in getting women to realize that they're still the same person, despite the fact that they've had, lost a breast or part of a breast or whatever, and that what we do just helps them realize that they can get back out and that they're okay and all of those things. But this is a huge piece of it because this is the garment that's going to get them out the first time. So it's very, very, very important that they have this, and it does, like Sonia said, it does hold the drain pieces. And the drain pieces, while they aren't, they're not painful, they're a little disconcerting because they're literally hanging from you, which Sonia would agree with me. I felt like I had udders. So to have something that you can put them in those pouches, and again, I said before they didn't have anything like this now, so it's wonderful that they're available. But the fact that they're available isn't very good if the availability is not there. So we need to make sure that these ladies are getting the benefit that is written in, but it's not written in properly, and that's what we need to fix. So
Heather, I want to thank you and Diane for the important service you provide to women, who are living with and recovering from breast cancer and surgery. And that's why I introduced the bill, because there are, Sonia points out as well, there are women, who I think we take for granted that they're getting everything that need and that they're entitled to. And I'm finding out that they're having to fight for it, negotiate for it. And, Sonia said, hope for some legislative change, which I'm going to try to put in place.
And very good if the availability is not there. So we need to make sure that these ladies are getting the benefit that is written in, but it's not written in properly, and that's what we need to fix. So
Heather, I want to thank you and Diane for the important service you provide to women, who are living with and recovering from breast cancer and surgery. And that's why I introduced the bill, because there are, Sonia points out as well, there are women, who I think we take for granted that they're getting everything that need and that they're entitled to. And I'm finding out that they're having to fight for it, negotiate for it. And, Sonia said, hope for some legislative change, which I'm going to try to put in place. So, I want to thank you again and Sonia for your courage in sort of sharing that. Chris, this is a simple, very simple legislative fix. It makes the necessary changes to Medicare policy to ensure that the prostheses garments are covered, whether supplied to beneficiaries prior to or after a mastectomy or other breast cancer procedure. It doesn't add any items to Medicare coverage. It just changes the timing of already allowable reimbursable purchases, and it's something that women deserve. And so, as we head into Mother's Day weekend, we want to put that information out there, and you're helping to publicize this, Chris, will help me get other co-sponsors to the bill, and hopefully take what is an idea right now, and I would say a right for the women, make it law, and make it solid, in the law. Chris, do you have any questions?
Yeah, I have to admit that my awareness about this issue has gone way up here in the last 24 hours receiving information about this press call. I wanted to ask Heather, I believe it was Heather, the speaker who has the shop in Bensalem?
Yes.
Heather, I wanted to give you an opportunity maybe to let our listeners know exactly where in Bensalem and Southampton you are at, and invite people who may not have been aware about this type of retail opportunities in our community.
We are in the Ruckman Institute Specialty Hospital in Bensalem, which is just off of Street Road across from Parks Casino. And in Southampton, we're on 2nd Street Pike, 45 2nd Street Pike, in the Holy Redeemer Women's Health Center.
And Mike, if I could, I wanted to ask you to give us a brief comment about how this is part of your interest in women's health care in a general sense, and how this is, something that, as you're describing, kind of should be an expected part of the healthcare process.
Sure, Chris. As the son of a mother who went through the surgeries and survived breast cancer, and the brother of a sister, the same. I think even I took it for granted that good insurance and my mom, a Medicare beneficiary, were provided with everything that they needed, both pre-surgery and post-operation. For the most part, there are good services available, but no woman having to deal with cancer, with the treatment, the surgery, and the recovery, should have to, sort of go through hoops or fight with a insurer or the Center for Medicare and Medicaid Services to get those benefits that they're entitled to, and frankly, that they've paid for. So, with that personal connection, and as a representative